Okay, we're back with more Heavensward. We're well into the storyline of patch 3.1. As goes light, so goes darkness. I'm Cruising X. Lady Darkfire is currently indisposed at the moment. And I'm just going to get right to it. When we last left off in the storyline, we met up. We finally tracked down everyone's favorite man whore, Thancred, who is back with, before... Yo, Darkfire! Come here for a second. You'll want to read this. Or you'll want to hear this line. Talking to Thancred, right?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking, but really, you needn't worry. It will only lend credence to my tales of heroism. Besides, battle scars are to maidens what loose morals are to gentlemen. A definite bonus. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, so let's continue the storyline.
I'm reposting that. At some point.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm taking a snapshot of that.
Please, because I need the exact wording. That's going on my alt account. Like, Thancred.
No, I am posting that as my freaking display wallpaper from now on. I'm gonna crop it and freaking... you know what? No, first, hide log window.
Give me your phone.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You would like it charged? Yeah.
Do you have an extension or... I didn't think so.
Oh, right, you're not...
I'm an iPhone, remember? But anyways, we are going to continue the storyline as soon as I get everything set up and my iPhone charged. There we go. Alright, let's go to work. To the left. Take it back now, yo. And Alfino is thinking again. Which is bad.
Here?
Yeah. That one. Blessed with the power of the Echo, and driven to put down primals. Despite his declaration that they walk a different path, I struggle to see how their goals conflict with ours. Nor is that the only oddity. I find it passing strange that such exceptional individuals should have wholly escaped our notice until now. Surely we would have heard rumors and attempted to recruit them to our cause. I recall no such adventurers, and I would not soon forget their like, nor would any of us, I think. One of the primary duties was to scour the city-states for promising candidates, which is how Thancred found Bayan. Ah, the memories. Seems like only yesterday that you slew your first primal. Speaking of which, I had the distinct impression that it was not the first time that band of merry men and women had killed a god. I labor to believe that a band of preternaturally gifted adventurers has been traveling the land slaying primals without our knowledge. 'Twould imply gross negligence on our part. Speculation will avail us not. There's far too much we do not know. For the present, we must needs concentrate on what we do know, namely that Lord Ravana is no more. Vidolfnir must be informed. The news may render her more receptive to Sir Emeric's invitation. Since you seem to have affairs here well in hand, I shall take my leave. Simply being in the vicinity of this colony is giving me a stinking headache. If you have need of me, I shall be with Master Matoya. I would beg her assistance with the search for Minfilia. Wait, Minfilia is missing? I thought she escaped with Bayan. I shall explain on the road. Much has happened in your absence. Alright, we can get our chat log back. And hello, we just ended up right outside as Annex Shrine, like no problem. Makes it a slight bit easier, though I really wish I could fly. Though I'm not going to waste my time attuning to all the ether currents in this character because I'm not a freaking busybody. Besides, Bion needs the exercise. And so do I. I had not thought to see thee again so soon, mortal. If thou seekest the night, know that she hath long since departed for Ishgard. My thanks, Vidofnir. But it was not for her that we came. We bring good tidings for you and yours. Lord Ravana, who had been summoned by the Nath, has again been laid low. Truly, once more you mortals have succeeded where mine own kind did fail. You have our deepest thanks. Would that we could take credit. The god fell by another's hand. Another? Revelation upon revelation. Regardless, it is cause for celebration. The Nath will have no choice but to withdraw. But to another matter, I have tidings for thee as well. Regarding the Ishgardian's invitation. As promised, I brought the matter to my sire. Hearken to his answer now. For 1,000 years I have mourned my beloved, who gave her life to forge a peace thy king betrayed. Such was my lot, until a child of Ishgard came unto me. For want of warmth, she wrapped herself in a dream, yet the world will remember her deeds. For truth she fought, for justice she sinned. For redemption she sacrificed and became as light. To follow one's heart, to have faith in one's convictions, be it for weal or be it for woe. Such is the folly and the glory of man and of dragon. He hath entrusted the choice to us, and we have made it. We will keep faith with you who walk in the light. Then you accept Sir Emmerich's invitation. Let it be known that I, Vidofnir, shall journey unto Ishgard on behalf of my people. We are honored to receive your answer, and will convey your words to our allies without delay. That's good news. Wait, what's he doing? It is happening, Isael. Would that you were here to see it. Meanwhile, in Ishgard,
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another.
Huh?
Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide. Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men, whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
Oh, shit. That's not good. Right. Let's not keep Sir Emmerich waiting. If only he knew what we knew. Are you quite well, Thancred? Yes. Yes, quite well. Forgive me. You have given me rather a lot to digest. This whole affair with the Ishgardians and the Dravanians, and our friends nowhere to be found. 'Twould seem there is no end to our troubles. We can but face them head-on, one at a time. For now, we must apply ourselves to our allotted task and leave others to theirs. Remember, Thancred, we found you as they found me. In time, we will find Ida and Papalimo and Minfilia as well. These troubles will soon be but a memory, one which we will look back on together. Pray, do not misunderstand. I did not mean to imply that it would be otherwise. I merely wish that I had rejoined our grand adventure at one of its more triumphal moments. Despite your recent accomplishments, the mood here is less than celebratory. But I have no doubt we will enjoy many more glorious victories soon enough. And you may rest assured that I will play my part in them to the very hilt. I know you will. So then, to the congregation! Usually we would just take the Ethernet, but it's right here. You have returned. In this, at least, the fates are kind. Greetings, First Commander. It pleases me to inform you that Vidolfnir has accepted Sir Emmerich's invitation. She has. These are glad tidings indeed. Would that the Lord Commander were here to hear them. Ah, is he otherwise engaged? Aye. Sleeping off a knife to the gut. What? What happened? Will he live? The children tell me he will make a full recovery. But had Lord Edmond and Lord Artois not been on hand when the assassin struck, he would not have been so fortunate. For a mercy, they subdued the fiend before he could land a telling blow. The attack was just the beginning, though. Not long after, buildings all around the city, including several of ours, burst into flame. Bastards caught us completely by surprise. We've been dousing the fires, but for every one we put out, it seems like 2 more start up. Casualties are mounting, especially in the bloom. 'Tis plain these fires were started by the assassin's conspirators. Until they have been rounded up, there will be no end to this. Will you help us find them? Then let us be about it. Well, that's a fine kettle of fish. Now, before I go any further, you may have noticed that we still have Thok around the clock left in the journal. I did it as Chris Valentine last night because I had that in the backlog and I didn't want to fucking deal with it. So, there you go. So it may stay there, it may not. We'll see what happens. Anyway, continuing the story. The flames are spreading. We must needs begin our investigation immediately. Witnesses must be found. Suspects must be identified. Have you been able to determine the precise locations where the fires were set? Mayhap there is a pattern. If there is, we have yet to discern it. Fires have been reported throughout the city, in both the pillars and foundation. Indeed, given the size of the area affected, I think it best to divide our forces. Master Alfino and Mistress Y'shtola, I would have you take charge of the investigation in Foundation. As you wish. Mayhap Tataru can be of assistance as well. Meaning Bayan and me get the pillars. Oh, they'll like me up there. Only question is, will the grizzled old rogue striking a pose over there be joining us? Thancred of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. And may I say what a pleasure it is to meet you too, my lady. I'll bet. The name's Hilda. A scion, eh? And here I was thinking I found a fellow ruffian amongst all these illustrious personages. I remain here to coordinate the fire-quenching effort. If you learn aught of value, pray inform me immediately. That is all. While we could begin by sifting through charred rubble and questioning random passers-by, in my experience, every town has at least one individual who can be counted on to know things he or she should not. Oh, aye. The infamous Lord Eminelaine de Forton, lover of women and wine, though neither care for him that much. They say you could gossip for Ishgard. Just the sort of fellow I had in mind. Capital suggestion, Bayan. He'll be at the Crozier most like, making an effort to be seen, so let's go and see him. Grizzled I will accept, but old? Well, shouldn't have gotten that tan, dude. And maybe you could do with shaving the beard. There's Lord Eminelaine. Well, well, if it isn't Bayan, dearest of all my friends. You're looking rather glum. What's the matter, old boy? Ah, yes, the Arsons. Dreadful business, that, and awfully curious, wouldn't you say? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it at all. Naturally, we've doubled the guard outside the manor, along with most of the other houses. Can't have the old pile growing up in flames, after all. Oh, in case you were wondering why the Hopland is awash with refugees, the lower levels of the vault have been opened to those unfortunate souls who have lost their homes. Sir Emmerich's orders, from what I hear. Remarkable man. Not even a knife in the ribs can keep him from his duties. Actually, old boy, if you were thinking of questioning the refugees, I should be more than happy to accompany you to the Hopland. While you conduct your inquiries, I can offer words of comfort to the distressed and despondent young maidens. Wait a moment. I know what that is. You're giving me one of your looks, aren't you? You do me an injustice, old boy. I will have you know my heart yearns for but one rose, prickly though she may be. I sense you remain unconvinced. Very well. If it will help you prove the purity of my intentions, I shall gracefully rescind my offer. Now run along and catch those arsonists. That was not entirely what I hoped for. Whose idea was it to come here again? Never mind. For our next step, I suggest we divide our efforts. While you question the refugees in the Hopland Bayon, I shall investigate the locations where the fires were set. Would you be so good as to join me, Hilda? You know what? I reckon I could. Can't have you roaming about in an unfamiliar city by your lonesome, can we? You'll only get robbed blind and left shivering in your small clothes. Wouldn't be the first time. Alright, let's hit the Hopland, which is all the way on the other side of the fucking pillars. So, let's see, how should we get there? We'll go by way of the Tribunal.
There was a man with a satchel. I saw him kneeling outside the window, and then there was smoke everywhere. And it was so hot, and I couldn't breathe. I don't remember how I made it out. I suppose I must have climbed. Maybe my arm's getting better after all.
Wait, what? Come, my brothers and sisters. There's food and shelter enough for all in the Basilica. Halone's blessings be upon you, Father. I confess we were not sure if we should come. There are so many unbelievable tales these days about the Archbishop and Sir Emmerich and the Dravanians. Trust in your heart, brother, and pay no heed to the lies of lesser men. They seek only to lead you astray. Do you require succor as well, sir? So the Temple Knights have begun their investigation at last. Good. This madness has gone on for far too long. Would that I could do something to aid you in your search, but I have a duty to these poor souls. Farewell, and may the Fury guide your steps. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you'll be giving a 10 to Lydia, trust me.
Ours is one of the first homes to be claimed, but I didn't see how the fire began. It was only when I heard our neighbors shouting that I looked outside and saw the flames. We barely escaped with the clothes on our backs. Were it not for the church's generosity, I don't know what we'd do.
Alright, now where's Thancred? Over near the Ark of the Venerable. And I don't have any aetheryte to go to, so I'm just gonna jump the cliff.
I don't think it's gonna let you.
Suck it! Can't wait to get the rest of my armor. Ah, there you are. Anything to share? We will require more than the muddled testimony of a traumatized girl if we are to identify the culprits. While you were questioning the refugees, we inspected the scenes of several of the fires, including one near St. Raymond's Cathedral and another near the Tribunal. For a mercy, neither structure suffered significant damage. Some might say they were spared by the grace of the Fury. Others might question how such ruthlessly efficient arsonists contrived to fail so miserably on the two occasions when their target was a bastion of Ishgardian orthodoxy. Nothing conclusive, of course, but it does give one cause to wonder. Alphino will doubtless have an opinion. Only cause it sounded gross, huh? This woman has been rating my burps ever since I got here on Friday. Alright, let's hit the broom.
Well, if he's gonna do it, I might as well. He hasn't hit 10, just so we're clear.
I think I got close to 9.
No, 8's your highest.
Well, look at that. Alpinova has better luck.
Big surprise.
For once, silence will avail you not, sir. Ah, Bayan. I was just about to summon you. As you can see, we have detained a suspect. We found this man loitering near the remains of one of the stricken buildings. According to our eyewitnesses, he was also present before the fires broke out. We wished to have words. He did not, so he insisted. Let me go, damn it! You've got the wrong man! My, but you reek of oil. And all those burns on your hands. An occupational hazard, I suppose. But tell me, does Arson pay well? I'm a victim, you imbecile! Look at me! Aye, that you are. After a fashion. You should know that your pious patron has already spun us a delightful yarn about how his pet mongoose slipped the leash and said about burning half the city to the ground. Not very noble of him, I grant you. But then these highborn types really do show loyalty to their pets. In fact, he called you rabid and begged us to put you down. That's bollocks! He's the one that told me to keep going! Even a sinner such as me could find salvation in the Fury's work, he said. I left it behind. Tried to. With all my heart. Said my prayers every day like a good man. But he came to me! He came to me! And there you have it. Hilda, would you be so kind as to escort our friend here to the congregation? Aye. So long as you don't mind if he's limping when he gets there. That was incredible, Thancred. But how did you know he would confess? Well, I have seen his like before. A troubled soul manipulated by men of power and wielded as a weapon. I could not be certain, of course, but given the stakes, I thought it worth the risk. And if our captive had called your bluff? Must we entertain hypotheticals? The world as it is vexing enough. Thank you, Thancred. Whether by luck or judgment, we have at last confirmed that these arsons were orchestrated by a person or persons of influence. I think it's best that we now return to the congregation and discuss how best to proceed. Alright, let's report to Lucia. How to go about this. There's the Ethernet shard. So we'll just go across the... We'll just go through the bar and frickin' through the Ethernet. See? Right through the bar. Because look. Oh, we don't go through the bar, but whatever. We pass next to it. On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, I thank you all. The man you apprehended is being interrogated as we speak. Though he fell silent upon realizing that we had not turned his master, he will soon tell us what he knows, one way or another. Pardon the intrusion, First Commander. Ah, Lord Otwell. Are you come to see your father? He is attending Sir Emmerich in his chambers at present. I am. He bid me bring this salve. Then do not let me detain you, and thank you for your kindness, my lord. In times of trouble, every man must do his part. Would that I could do more.
My lord Otterell did not seem to be in the best of spirits. 'Tis little wonder, Master Alphino. His father is widely slandered, and his half-brother is not yet cold in the grave. Poor Haurchefant. No, that was me. Messenger. Give me a sec. Alexis. Anyways. And now for the final quest of this patch. As goes light, so goes darkness.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Indeed.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Far too many to count.
Emmerich.
Lord Commander, your wounds.
Are healing well. Thank you. Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change. When our enemies learn that we have apprehended their arsonist, there is no telling how they will react.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
What's that?
I need caffeine. I'm gonna probably steal one of your cokes.
Go ahead. And it begins.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
To which he'll pose a trial by combat and win, blah, blah, blah.
Do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
Okay.
These fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Well, Game of Thrones is kind of like this, whichever one you want to look at it.
Who cares? Both
Given
are awesome.
the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Agreed. Lucia, take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Damn right you can!
Of course.
That one? You missed it.
We are in your debt.
Let's kick some ass!
I shall join you as well, Lord Commander.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms then, friends. Time is against us.
We're gonna take a quick break. We will return in a moment to end this.
While you break, I want to put this away in the